Robin Starr from Skinner Auctioneers. I'm so glad you're here to join me today. What we're going to do is we're going to pop in on Matthias, and I'm going to help you get to know more about him. We're going to ask him a whole bunch of questions. It's going to be sort of like speed dating. So come on, let's see if he's in his office.
Oh,
Hi,
Robin,
Matthias,
hi.
how are you?
I'm very well. Nice to see you.
Lovely to see you as well. Thank
And
you.
I heard speed date, so take a seat. We should take that very seriously.
Absolutely. All right, I'm going to blast you with a whole bunch of questions.
Yes.
What time did you get up today?
Too early to tell.
Coffee or tea?
Both, and lots of them.
And how do you take them?
On the rocks or straight up?
What's the favorite thing in your office?
The art.
What's your favorite thing at home?
The art.
What is your most prized possession?
The art.
What is something you can never overinvest in?
In personal connections.
What is a Give-A-Thon exactly?
A Give-A-Thon that evolved after the lockdown. It basically replaces a gala, and it has this function to support organizations such as ours. Yes, that's a Give-A-Thon.
That's a Give-A-Thon. And why should I give today?
You should not only give today, but happily ever after, and lots and lots and lots, because that allows us to bring all the programs to the community that we need money for. That allows us to care for our collection, that allows us to care for the building, and to be an anchor in our community.
Is there a theme for the Give-A-Thon this year?
Absolutely. The theme is teaching and learning together.
Excellent. So who taught you the most in your life?
The most in my life, there were many people, and most of those lessons, no, all of those lessons have changed me, but I can tell you I didn't like each of the lessons in the same way. Some actually I hated.
What's your favorite work of art here at WAM?
My favorite work of art, let's walk a little bit around, because the galleries are just around the corner, so come with me.
Wonderful. What's your favorite gallery at WAM?
So first about the favorite artwork, it's our last acquisition, or our next acquisition. That would be my favorite work. And our curators are doing a phenomenal job when they write down the arguments, and I learn a lot. Where the galleries are concerned, the favorite gallery is always the one that we most recently renovated. In our case, the most recent renovation is the Gallery of the Ancient Americas at the top floor. And then, of course, the next gallery that we're going to renovate, and there are lots of very exciting candidates.
All right. Where are you from?
I am from Germany.
And what do you miss most about Germany when you're here in the States?
I miss my family, I miss my friends, and I miss the light, because the light in Germany, it's the light with which you grew up. It's just very particular, it's northern light.
What do you miss most about the States when you're in Germany?
I miss my friends, I miss my colleagues, and I miss my home.
What languages do you speak?
I speak 4 languages. So my mother tongue is German. The first foreign language that I learned at the age of 5 is English. And then came French, and when you speak French, then you can learn easily another Romance language, so Italian was the top contender.
Also good for reading menus.
Yeah.
What's your favorite place in the world?
My favorite place in the world, I have many, but Rome is definitely a top contender for that.
What's your favorite place in Worcester?
Again, there are many. Top contender is the Cascades Park. There is a Nipmuc sanctuary, which I would recommend for everyone to go to. But there are also all these ponds around our city. And among the many restaurants that we have in Worcester, I'm most excited. I'm very excited, not most, the others are fabulous too. Dead Horse Hill.
Wonderful. If you could have a second career, what would it be?
Urban planner.
Okay. And what 3 artists would you want to dine with, regardless of the space-time continuum?
It would be Kazimir Malevich, Gerhard Richter, and Caravaggio, because this man was so criminal and was such a fabulous painter, and I would like to know how he is when you have a dinner with him. Would he kill me, for instance, and then paint me?
I wouldn't give him too much Chianti. What's the first thing you notice about a work of art?
The first thing I notice about a work of art is, it may come across as superficial, but it's deeply felt, is the size of the work and how it responds to the space around it.
All right. Has a work of art ever made you cry?
This is a romantic trope, but I have to admit, I I do cry every now and then, but I have very easy tears, so.
If you could hang any piece of art in your home, what would it be?
A top contender there again would be Otto Dix's The Pregnant Woman. Most people would be horrified by that. I could take it.
What's an acquisition that's come to Wham that you're most proud of?
There is one that's not even a top contender, that is the one that I'm the most proud of, and that is our collection of arms and armor from the Higgins collection. It came to us in 2014 and has transformed the museum.
What's the most amazing discovery to happen at Wham?
In my time at Wham, the most amazing discovery by my standards is that we re-attributed a small panel to Leonardo da Vinci's. Thereby, the Worcester Art Museum is one of only 2 museums in this country that owns a painting by Leonardo, and then the other museums in Europe, maybe 4 or 5. So we are in a very illustrious club thereby.
So when did you start doing the Give-A-Thon?
We did this directly after the lockdown because we had planned on a gala, and of course we couldn't go through with that.
Yeah. And how much money are you hoping to raise today?
We are very ambitious, so it's 150,000. But as you already volunteer to give lots, and happily ever after, I'm sure we will reach that.
And how do I give?
So here something pops up, a link, so follow that link or go to our website. Very easy.
Perfect. Do you have any donors who are offering matching gifts, perhaps?
Yes. So it is Lisa Kirby and Peter Gibbs who are jointly giving $20,000. And that everybody who gives money from now until tomorrow 10 o'clock, they will double that gift.
Wow. What period of art is your favorite?
So I'm a trained 19th century man. In French it's called 19e, and it's the end of the 19th century. But I've become a generalist, so I don't have a favorite period anymore. I have just lots of favorite children, if you will.
What period of art challenges you the most?
It is periods or civilizations that I don't know very much about, and that's a challenge by definition, or it is art that was produced in moments of extreme crisis. Think about, we just bought a Japanese screen that was produced in 1940 when the Japanese, like my dear fellow countrymen, created havoc in the world, and that's kind of challenging to look at.
Unfair question, but paintings or sculpture?
That is really an unfair question.
I warned you.
So if I really had to make that call, it would be sculpture.
Okay. Books or movies?
It's both. There I can't decide.
All right, let's try a different way. What are you watching right now?
I'm watching Bridgerton religiously. And Mrs. Whistledown is really fabulous.
So would that be your favorite fictional character?
My favorite fictional character is, because I'm reading right now by Émile Zola, L'Assommoir. It's from a 20-volume cycle, Le Rougon-Macquart. And there it is Gervaise. And that's my current hero in fiction.
Okay. Who is your favorite historical personage?
Again, this Olymp keeps growing because there's so many heroes, and they are not heroes when they start. They become heroes due to circumstances, and right now it's definitely Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, who's fighting for democracy.
Why are these doors covered up?
Ha! As you're asking so nicely, I will let you into a secret. Behind those doors, we are going to install an exhibition that's opening this June, and it is Jewels of the Nile. We have a fabulous collection of antique jewels from Egypt, and they had a beauty sleep in our storage, and now they're coming out.
How wonderful. What did you want to be when you grew up?
When I was 5, actually, I wanted to be a clown because I thought this was the best way of make my mother laugh and get her attention. And that wore thin, so when I was 6, I preferred to be a mayor to have more power, and I did. So.
Who taught you the most in your life?
There were so many people. It's like the lessons that you like and dislike. Many people I loved who taught me lessons, and other people I really viscerally hated, but I still learned.
What have you learned from your family then?
From my family, I learned that no matter what happens, there are always these very, very deep down relations, underground and very deep.
What have you learned from your community?
From the community, it's very humbling actually. If you really want to reach people, you have to meet them where they are. And that I have learned again and again. And I've also learned the generosity, particularly in our community, on a human and on a supporting level.
How is learning important in a museum?
In a museum, as everywhere else, learning just broadens your horizons, connects you with something that's much bigger, and and makes you grow. And in a museum, it's the artwork that are both the aim of that learning, but also the pretext for that learning.
All right, awkward question. How much of the museum's collection's on view right now?
That is indeed an awkward question. So it's a small percentage, and every museum director would answer you that, because 60% of our collection is works on paper, and works on paper are not shown permanently. But then also think about coins that we have. We have a very important collection of Roman coins and American coins. Think about textiles. We have lots of textiles, fabulous. They can't be on permanent view. That explains it a little bit.
What's the most surprising thing that's on view right now?
The most surprising thing on view is the exhibition Us Them We, which opened several weeks ago. And it is artists of color who are defining their work and themselves in this current discussion about race, ethnicity, and identity. And it's really a very interesting and artistically very high quality contribution to this ongoing conversation in America and in the Western world.
What do you wish could always be on view but just can't be?
I have a top contender here. We have from our excavation in Antioch many, many mosaics, and one that is, for me, the very best of them. It's a Roman Republican, high realistic mosaic. And you see in the center, you see Bacchus, who is drinking, and he has lots of companions who are happily drinking with him.
And what are you most afraid of?
Rats.
What's something nobody else knows about you?
I once had 3 seconds of fame in a film by Louis Malle, Au revoir les enfants, but it was just 3 seconds. For that reason, nobody knows about it.
What's your favorite dessert?
Crème brûlée.
What makes you nervous?
Rats.
How do you reduce stress?
Running, taking deep breaths, and thinking about the bigger picture.
All right. What's the best part of your job?
It's people, and it's also the most complicated one because we're all complicated.
All right, final question. I can't stop myself. Are you ever going to build a Higgins gallery?
The answer is yes, and we're here in the library, and I just show you. So all those books, they are migrating to another part of the museum, the Higgins Education Wing, and this is going to be the first gallery. It's about 2,000 square feet, and then we are piercing an entrance there, and behind this we will have open storage and study spaces. So we will actually show the entirety of the Higgins collection, no less than 2,000 pieces, which will get our percentage of works on view dramatically up.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. I can't wait to see it. Matthias, thank you so much for taking the time for this little date. I very much appreciate it. You are a lovely date.
So are you. So to be continued.
Thanks again.
Thank you.